I am Frederick Omoyoma-Dorige. I represent the Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria under the auspices of the Nelson Mandela Human Rights Association in Hungary. We cannot fully address racism and inequality without addressing historical social injustice and restitution. In February 1897, the British troops, in terrorist fashion, committed a despicable violent act against the Benin Empire in present-day Nigeria. They traveled 5,054 kilometers from London to the Benin Kingdom, where they ruthlessly burnt the empire to the ground, tortured and killed thousands of us, forced the king to flee his palace, looted our treasures of bronze and artifacts, and desecrated one of the richest cultures of Africa. In that bloody Benin invasion, children were slaughtered like chickens, pregnant women were burst open, and our men were massacred before entire villages were burned to the ground. Many women and young girls were allegedly raped, and others were displaced and never reunited with their families. Many were killed and forgotten without graves. These terrorist actions were followed by the eventual looting of priceless artifacts from the Benin people of today's Nigeria. Till date, the British government continued to commercialize the products of terrorism by putting our artifacts in the London Museum, where people pay money daily to see the proceeds of terrorism. The relationship between terrorism and colonialism is directly related to racism, discrimination, inequality, and social injustice. The world cannot be fighting racism or terrorism when the government of the United Kingdom continues to commercialize and profit from the product of terrorism. Britain has been reinvesting proceeds of the loot in renovating the British Museum periodically. The British Museum was visited by 5.9 million persons in 2017. We must recall that Article 11 of the November 1970 United Nations Convention on the means of prohibiting and preventing the illicit import, export, and transfer of ownership of cultural property states as follows. The export and transfer of ownership of cultural property under compulsion arising directly or indirectly from the occupation of a country by a foreign power shall be regarded as illicit. Today, when British children visit the museum in London, they are told the story of how their ancestors forcefully looted the artifacts of our unarmed people. The children grow up relishing colonial fantasies and a false, misleading, and destructive sense of superiority, which has led to the so-called supremacist movement. These children will grow up and tell their children and their friends the same horrible stories. This has been going on for 122 years. The relationship between today's so-called white supremacist movement and colonialism is violence, violence, and violence. There would have been no colonialism if there was no terrorism, because colonialism was simply a display of superior gunpowder. To fight racism and social injustice, we must attack the problem from the root. Therefore, we suggest that it is very imperative that the United Nations should demand, as a matter of urgency, that the British government must quickly return all looted artifacts to Nigeria. The United Nations should take a step further to demand that artifacts stolen or seized from countries that have been colonized or oppressed in any part of the world must be returned. This will be a valuable step towards restoration, restitution, and the fight against racial discrimination. Sadly, they have rewritten our history. Today, you hear in the United Kingdom about the Lander stool, Lander stool. There is nothing like Lander stool. In 1830, Richard Lander, one of the earliest explorers in Africa, took a stool and took it to the UK. It is now resting in the British Museum. Now, everybody called that stool Lander stool. There is nothing like Lander stool. That stool was taken from the Yoruba-speaking people of Nigeria. Nobody should be able to write our history more than we do. In 1978, the government of the United States of America under Jimmy Carter honorably returned the Holy Crown of St. Stephen, which they took from Hungary in 1945. In 1993, British citizen Michael Walker, I beg your pardon, in 2014, Mark Walker, a British citizen, voluntarily returned artifacts which his parents took from Nigeria. John Hugo, also from Wales, equally returned artifacts her parents took from Libya. Whoever is paying money or donating money to see the looted artifacts of Nigeria, stolen with instruments of the gun, torture, and the shedding of blood, is supporting and investing in terrorism. As we sit here in room 7 of the United Nations building here in Geneva, 90% of the artifacts of Africa are hidden in Europe. The dignity and the history of the Benin people of Nigeria or any other affected country of the world must be returned home, and the time is now. It is the only way, or a very formidable way, of fighting racism and social injustice. Finally, I wish to draw your attention to the growing xenophobia in South Africa, where many fellow Africans, especially Nigerians and Zimbabweans, have been killed. We should make categorical statements to the government of South Africa that this is unacceptable in the 21st century. Thank you.
Muchas gracias. Siendo consciente del tiempo,